Are we on? We're live? Okay, now tell me when it's 3 o'clock. And we'll get...
It's 3.
Oh, it's already 3. My goodness, that was speedy fast. Okay, we're getting all hooked up. Are you ready to draw a Jeep? So, we have to preface our Jeep drawing today with my husband and my boys love Jeeps. I also had a special request for cars, trucks, planes, trains, or Jeeps. So we're doing Jeeps today. All this month of August, I'm going to be doing special requests on our Wednesday drawing. So send in something and we'll pick from it and we'll draw what you want to draw. So this worked out well because my husband not only drives a Jeep, he's also done acrobatics in Jeeps. Like his Jeep has done this all the way over, and with Keaton inside too. But he loves to take it off-roading, like really off-roading, like in the mountains off-roading. And so whether you like to just look at Jeeps, whether you like to drive a Jeep or ride in a Jeep or take it off-roading, this will be a fun one to draw. Now, I don't know as much about Jeeps as my boys do, or maybe as you do. So I can show you how to draw it, but you can share anything about a Jeep with me. I do know that when you're driving a Jeep, you're supposed to wave at other people that have Jeeps. So if you have a Jeep, we're waving at you right now. So are the comments, the screen is coming on really funny. Is it coming on funny for you too? We're gonna see if it's our internet or not. Keaton, can you see it on the comments if it's coming in funny? He's checking on the computer. For some reason, our reception is all dancing around. It looks like cool, groovy. It might just be because we're right by the phone. We're gonna wait for the comments to come in. There's a little bit of a delay. But we're gonna start and we're gonna break down the Jeep, and we're going to start with one of the most iconic parts of the Jeep. Does it look like it's okay on your screen, on your phone?
They say it's fine.
Okay, well, we're going to keep going then. How does it look on the phone?
It looks normal on the phone.
Well, we're going to go with the phone, and we're going to say that my computer is doing something funny. So right here, that front grille on the Jeep seems to be really signature. You'll see it on stickers and posters, and you know if you see that, it has 7 grates, headlights, parking lights, and I know that depending on the Jeep, sometimes these change. So I know there are all kinds of Jeeps, like, do you remember kinds of Jeeps like JKs, CJs, what are some other ones? DJs, JL, whole bunch. So we're going to start right here. Tate's going to draw with me. I'm going to be using a charcoal pencil. Tate's a lefty, so he's going to be using Sharpie. You can use whatever you have at home, but we're going to start right here with this part, and then we're going to build everything around it. So what I want you to do is see how it's basically a rectangle where we rounded the corners. See if I pin this down a little bit so it doesn't distract Tate or myself or you. Okay, so we're going to start right around there. We're going to draw that line on top, right there, and then we're going to curve those corners.
Does it matter if you have the paper horizontal or vertical?
No, because apparently Jeeps can go this way, upside down, and all the way back over. So, as you know, this is called landscape mode. This is called portrait mode. You can put your paper either way, depending on what you want your Jeep to be doing. If you want to draw your Jeep even catty corner when we're done, we can make it look like it's on top of a hill or a pile of rocks and ready to climb over it. So let's finish that rounded long rectangle shape right there. We're going to get that all the way around. And what we're doing is we're creating that signature front of the Jeep. So then we're going to put these lights in right here, and then we're going to put in 7 spaces. So just put in a big circle over here on this side, a big circle over here on that side, like that.
Did you know Jeeps have been assembled at the same plant since the 1940s?
Oh, that's really cool. I love to hear whenever there's still manufacturing going on in the United States, and it's still going on at the same plant since the 1940s. That's pretty cool. It really is very American. So let's do another circle underneath that one, but a little bit smaller. Right there. Okay, so now to make this grill, you can draw, I'll draw mine darker, but you can draw a guideline here. I'm going to try and draw it a little bit lighter, and a guideline here. That way you know that you want all your lines right here to meet up. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, we need to make 7 spaces. So this is 1. In fact, you can, I'm going to put little stripes so you know where I'm done. Then this is another one. I'll put little stripes so you can see where I'm doing. So it's as though we're going to skip. By making the stripes, you end up making that grill pattern. I'm just darkening them in so you can see where I'm going. Now we have to have 7, so let's keep going all the way across.
What I've found is that it has 7 slots.
7 slots.
Because of copyright infringement.
Oh, okay. Well, I was asking Keaton, why are there 7 spaces? Because it's very specific. We have to do 7. So we're on 5, and
they were being designed. The Ford model at the time had 9 slots, so they changed theirs to 7. So there would be a difference.
Okay, so Ford had 9, so Jeep had to have 7. So ever since then, still manufactured in the same factory since 1940. We still have 7. So you can, at any time, if you want to erase these guidelines, or you can.
You say no eraser.
Well, I know usually I say no eraser, but sometimes when you're making a guideline, you can. But that way, you know you have it. They're usually a little rounded, so if you want to round those ends a little bit, they have kind of that signature rounded look. But the nice thing is those guidelines, what that does is whenever I'm using a guideline in drawing, I'm trying to make sure things are going to be the same height and same length. So that way I know I have that. So you can erase your guideline and then round those little edges. And already now we've got that signature look right here that we know we're moving into a Jeep. So let's go ahead and do basically the hood of the car right here. So to do that, we're going to kind of mimic this line a little bit above it. So I'm going to come up above it, and I'm going to draw a line all the way as though, see how I just came up above and drew that line there? Okay.
Did you know there's some aquatic Jeeps?
Ooh,
they like turn into a boat.
They're like, so you're dry, like a, what are the duck boats? Aqua cars. Okay, so we've got this here. What we can do is we can come right here. You see where I am on the side of this headlight? We're going to come out a little bit further, and we're going to come out right there. So we're kind of getting this whole hood part. We're going to repeat that on the other side. Right here, see about right where our line ends and about that far into our circle. We're going to come over and do the same thing. Okay, is it starting? You're starting to kind of get that idea. Now, we're just going to bring a straight line back in on both of those.
One person said that the grill kind of looks like a radio.
It does kind of look like a radio. You know, I love the movies that have the cars in them, like all the Cars movies, where they make all the expressions, because when you drive down the road, don't you think some of the cars actually look like you'll see a face in a truck, or you'll see that?
Did you know that they design a part on Jeeps to where it puts like an angle on the lights, and it's called a grumper because it makes it look grumpy?
Oh, that's funny. Did you hear Keaton about a grumper on a grumper Jeep because it looks like grumpy? Okay, so we've got the lid. We've got that. There are a few extra details we'll add in a minute. Let's go ahead and get that windshield. Now, because we're going to do all this upper part right here. Now, you notice where this met. You see this tape right here? You see where this met? If we just bring our pencil right up here, you see how I did that? in drawing, we're always looking for relationships. So when you're studying something to draw, you're trying to figure out, oh, look, that's right above that. That way you know the scale. So I'm going to look at this line where this connects, and I'm going to draw a little marker there. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to see where that connects, and I'm going to come straight up, and I'm going to draw a little marker there. Now that way I'm going to know that these 2 points right here are going to be where my windshield comes in. So do you want to pull, oh, here baby, what you need help with? You want to move that down? You got it? Sometimes those are hard to clip on. There you go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up, and this is going to have a more squared corner right there. You're going to angle in a little bit, come across. So I'm going to do that right now. We're going to angle in just a little bit. We're going to come up longer than this, about the height of what our grill is. We're going to come all the way across. And remember, we're coming back down to meet here. We're going to come back like that. Yep. And that's our windshield. Now, we've got to give the windshield a frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that same line again. We're just going to do it on the outside. So let's give that windshield a frame. We're going to come around there. There we go. Now, some things to finish us out. You think you want to see what's behind you? You don't think so? I think I do. Tate says he's fine. He's just always looking forward. But these are square, I noticed. If are all Jeeps, are they kind of square like that? Pretty much. So we're going to do an outside square, then add our inside square.
Did you know the doors are designed to where they can come off?
The doors on the Jeep are designed where they can come off. Does that date back to military times, or just that people wanted to be cool?
It's just a plug where you can unplug it and then doors come right off.
Pretty cool. So right here where our top of our car comes down, we're going to come out and we're going to make a square right there and bring it back in. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, right there where it comes in. Come out, make a square, and come back in. We've got some rear view mirrors. We're going to add a little square on the inside, give it that detail. Good job, Tate. Yours is looking awesome. Now, there's a few things in here. We're going to add these real quickly so we can kind of knock this out and know that we're going to work down here on the bottom with the tires and fun like that. So right here, there are some hood latches. So there's a line that comes right here just above here. So it's like that. You see, that's those little details. There we go. And we've got one on this side. It's up above that well. And then it looks like it's got a cool little latch right here. So it's as though we're going to draw a rectangle. It almost looks like I'm putting a Band-Aid on it a little bit, doesn't it, Tate? Yeah, that looks cool. And then we've got some hood details. Now, my husband tells me, what are they called, Keaton? It's not Christmas, Easter eggs. That they put Easter eggs around on Jeeps. And I thought, well, why do they put Easter eggs? Well, apparently they're not eggs at all. They're little tiny Jeep things. So if you don't have a Jeep and you look around on a Jeep, they'll have a little hidden grill, or they'll have a little Jeep sticker riding somewhere on there.
On the windshields, there's a little Jeep rock climbing in the bottom corner.
On the windshields, there's a little Jeep rock climbing on the bottom corner. So on the rock climbing on the bottom corner. So when you're done, you can always add your Easter egg on there too. So we're going to add this little detail right here and these two. So directly in the middle, we're going to put a little tiny rectangle right above our fourth grill, like that. That looks great. And then let's come over to the end of our grill and make a smaller rectangle and do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So now we've got our grill right here. Headlights, 7 slots in the middle. Rounded edges. We've got our wheel wells coming out from the Jeep. We've got our hood. We've got our windshield. We've got our car and our rear view mirrors. So, you ready to get on? Let's do this. So let's put these lights down here. Now, if you might have a winch. My husband has something, I call it a rhinoceros horn. It's something like a winchy kind of thing.
It's just a bumper.
It's a bumper? I don't know. You can tell I'm not a car person. I am definitely an art person. But I don't know as much about cars as I do about art. So it's always fun to learn something new, isn't it? So we're going to drop this box down right here. It's underneath our slots. We're going to make a block just like this. I'm coming down from the bottom of the slots and I'm making that rectangle right there. So we're doing this. Even if you don't know a lot about cars or not a lot about Jeeps like me, you can still use the same techniques. We're looking with our eyes and we're trying to see relationships to other things so that we know where to put our lines. So we know we've got 2 lights in there. Let's put those round lights, a circle here and a circle here. Tate, you're doing such a good job. Okay, I think we're going to be able to see now. We've got a little box here and a little box here before we get the rest of our fender. So we're going to add that square detail. It comes down about where the end of that round light is. We're going to bring it down. It comes down a little bit lower. That way it will have the appearance of being a little bit bigger, as though it's coming forward. So I came down right beneath this light here, came down and came across there. That looks great. Now I'm going to end up touching my square. So you want to come all the way over and touch right here. It's okay. Just bring your line straight across right there. There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. We're going to do the same thing over here. What I'm doing is I'm bringing my line down right here, straight down, a little bit lower than here. And I'm coming across and coming back up. Yeah, that's perfect, Tate. That's excellent. So let's see, what other little details? I'm just going to add a little extra edge right here on either side. That's going to give it that appearance of coming forward, as well as on a car and any vehicle or mode of transportation, you have lots of details that are very, very fine and lots of straight lines. So we're going to bring this fender on over. And so again, we're going to follow this line, but we're going to drop it down to about the height of here. If I put my pencil across there, you see how that goes? Oops! And then you drop your pencil and you have to pick it up. So once you measure, you drop your pencil and pick it up. We're going to put our line straight across. Are you laughing at Mom? So let's come straight across all the way to the same, as long as that is. It's going to kind of feel like a hamburger bun a little bit, because we're going to mimic this shape. So we're going to come across here to the bottom of here, come up, but we're going to round that up like that. So if I took this and I made some lettuce and tomatoes, it kind of looks like a hamburger. Onion, mayonnaise, what else do you need? Pickles. Mustard. Ketchup. It could look like a hamburger. So we put those two together. But it's not going to, because we're going to put a wheel in there and it's not going to look like a hamburger anymore. But I always try to look at things and think of what it might look like to help me remember how to draw it. So we're going to do that same thing over here. Remember, we took our line across from the top of the light all the way to that end. Same height as there. We brought our line straight across, come across, and curve up. Now we add our lettuce, mayonnaise, tomatoes. Onion, pickles.
One person said it is highly recommended not to put a car seat in a Jeep.
It's highly recommended not to put a car seat in a Jeep. I could see maybe because of the soft top or so.
Not all have a soft top.
No, I will say my husband does have a roll cage in his, because remember, this is what his does. So we are going to go ahead and add. Now I notice this has 7 slots too down here. So we're going to repeat that again, but they're much smaller. So we're going to come down like this. So we're coming to this end. We're going to come down. Just do that little right there. And then you can stop it there, Tate. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other hand. About there. So you see how, and now let's connect that line as a straight line right across. all the way across. There we go. And then we've got our 7 slots. So if we came all the way down, like if I did that, you can put a guideline here if you want to. We're going to put those slots right underneath each one of these. So we would have one there. We would have one there. We would have one there. And we would have one there. So I'm just visually looking. If you wanted to, you can always do something like take a piece of paper to come on down. You can use a ruler, anything like that. Anything you can use that helps you kind of see where things connect. You're always looking at, oh, look, that's like right above there. Or if I put my pencil here, where does that line up? And I emphasize that all the time, as well as, remember, we're talking about finding shapes in things, but those shapes and those relationships, my goal is to have you look at something completely random, like you're traveling and you look out and you see a bird. And you know how to look at the bird and you know how to find the shapes, the circle, the body, the ovals, or you know how to look at the relationships, like where the beak comes in. That's how you draw. That's really, it's observing and understanding. So let's finish my, oh, you already beat me. You already got all your 7 in there, Tate. Mom started talking, getting all excited about drawing again. That's all she does is talk about drawing. Okay, so we've got this down here. We're going to draw that tire in right here. So you see the top of the tire. We're going to draw that line down here and bring it around. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to draw a line down to about there. I know it's got to be underneath here.
Did you know there's a Jeep in the movie Cars?
Is there a Jeep in the movie Cars? Wait, what's the, is it Sarge? Is he a Jeep? Yeah, that's it.
Sarge.
The Sarge, the,
Car?
no, he's a Jeep and, he's always mad at the van. He's always mad at the van that's like, hey.
Which car? Which cars?
It's in the first one for sure. So, okay, let's come on down and we're going to draw another line right here. We're going to make the bottom of that tire. We're going to make sure that line comes up. We're going to make the top of that tire. See how we did that? Now it's not going to go all the way to our top of our hamburger right there. We're going to see a little space in between there. Yep, carry that up. That's perfect, Tate. We're going to repeat that same thing over here. Not all the way to the top. See, not all the way to the top. We're going to leave some space. We're going to drop it down. About right here. We want to have our tires, although it could be a little wonky. You could be going over a big pile of rubble. And then you're going to bring that across, come down, or if you brought it up the other way, that works too. But you're just making those big, bulky tires as we go. We've got a few other things, and then we're going to do some tire treads and talk about some ground and all sorts of stuff you could have your Jeep go over. So we've got kind of some of the underbelly. I do not know what this stuff is. There's like mufflers and axles and things like that down there. But it's stuff my boys and my husband know how to fix. So we're going to put some of those in there and just do it by representing some shapes. So we're going to come along and let's draw a line and connect this edge right here all the way across. And then we know it's got a little something right here, whatever this box is. It kind of looks like little teeth. Right where it connects, we're going to add another one of those right here. And then we're going to give it that, whatever this car working stuff is. It has a little pan that comes over, so we're putting a line right beneath it. And then we're going to curve down for whatever that pan is. See how I did that? Just a little bit of a curve, and we continue that line. Guys, y'all have a Jeep. You have just drawn a Jeep. That looks so awesome, Tate. I love that. So now, how do you make tire treads? So you can make tire treads several different ways. What?
S's.
You can make S's. You can make a lot of zigzag lines. So again, I'll talk about this. Usually, if we were drawing this for a Jeep company, we would have to make those very exact. But a lot of times in art, you can just do what's called implied meaning I can put some lines and scribbles and that on there, and you'll understand it's a tire. You'll understand it has tread. So usually the tire tread is zigzaggy in the middle, and you don't see all the zigzags on the sides. So let's start with a zigzag. And your zigzag can look like anything you want it to. Right down the middle. And then repeat it, kind of copy it on the other side. Yeah. And then we're going to copy it on the other side. So we're going to have 3 zigzaggy lines. There's no right or wrong here. And then pretty much you can end up doing some diagonal lines in this way, and then do that same on this side. You see how you end up with that feeling of tire tread right there. Got it? Looks cool. So let's do the same thing here. That zigzaggy line in the middle. You can use this anytime you're trying to represent a tire. It's just kind of an easy way to do it. So almost like you're making a lightning bolt. Zigzag, zigzag. That looks awesome. And I usually do 3 down the middle, so the easiest way is to put 1 in the middle and then 1 on either side. Tate already did his tire. He's already got it all. And then come in with those lines on the side. So now you can leave it just like this, or you can add a little bit of shading. So this part is darker and under the wheel wells are darker. So if you want to shade that in, you can just add some little marks in there. Oh, I didn't do the tops of my tire. Look, Tate, we got to do the tops of our tire too. Otherwise, people say, what is that? You have to know that's a tire there. And I'm going to shade in this. Right there. Let me do the tops of my tire over here too. Same technique, you just don't see as much of it. I'm going to shade that in underneath there. And shade this in underneath here. I feel like I want to say vroom vroom all the time while I'm drawing this. Vroom vroom, vroom vroom. So, and then you can come along and add little details, like we can add a little extra line down here, emphasize all the way around. We can add that extra line all the way around that grill to give it a little bit more of a pop. So you can do this if you want to, or you can choose not to. So I'm just giving it that extra pop. My charcoal pencil is getting very dull. You can color in the hood of the car. You can color in the top of the car right here.
Do you sharpen it?
Oh yeah, will you sharpen my pencil? Hang on, let me get it around. See how dull it is? You'll stick it in the sharpener. We've got one right there. So this is the time when you can come along in and you can start adding all sorts of details. Now the fun thing about a Jeep is, where is your Jeep going to go? Like, is it going to go down the road? So you could use a little perspective and do a road drawing. If you remember that, we put a vanishing point and we put it behind us. Ooh, that's such a nice sharp point. You can decide you want a bumpy ground. So let's say this is real muddy. Is yours going to be muddy? Mine's going to be muddy. Oh, Tate's putting some big boulders and rocks that his is climbing over. Whoa, Tate. That is a hard one. You're going to have to get some help to get over those.
I don't want to be in here.
Tate, you jumped ahead of me. I was going to say that. Then you can make yourself driving the Jeep if you want to. Of course. You can put a steering wheel in here, right here, and you can put whoever you want driving your Jeep. So, whoever, it could be you, it could be your pet dog, it could be whoever you want to drive your Jeep. So, it could be your sister, whoever you want driving your Jeep. But that's kind of fun. Another thing that I might think is fun is usually the Jeeps get kind of muddy. So we're going to add a little bit of a splash. This is my mud splashing up right here. while Tate's drawing his, I'm going to add mud splashing everywhere. To do that, I'm just drawing like a little comma, and I just keep the point coming out. Whenever you're making a splash, your point is starting at where you want it coming out, and then it gets bigger. So the point comes out like this, splash, mud splash everywhere. Okay, well, I think we have a Jeep. I think he's got, oh, Tate has the whole family in the Jeep.
No.
Oh, who's not in here? Mom's not there? Mom, Keaton, Dad, Tate, Talia.
No, there isn't any Tate or Talia.
Who is this right here?
I messed up.
You never mess up. They look fantastic. They can just be friends that come along too. So you don't mess up in art. You just change your design. So with that, now your assignment is, are you going to have somebody driving your Jeep? Where is your Jeep going to go? Is it going to climb a mountain? Is it going to splash the mud? Is it going to go sideways and go up a big rock? That's the fun about a Jeep. My car can't do that, but a Jeep can. So on that note, it's time to take your Jeeps driving. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please send me whatever you want to draw, and I will look through all of them, and I'll try and pick a good variety. So if there's something you're thinking, man, I really wish I knew how to draw that, send it to me. That's half the fun, is just finding out things that I know you want to learn and then trying to figure out the best way to teach you about drawing through these items. So have a fabulous Wednesday. Go for a Jeep ride. Wave at your fellow Jeep friends. Art is man's nature, nature is God's art. Thanks for joining me, guys.